This is going to be the 5th edition in my video series Scrolling, whereby I pick pieces of media from the internet, articles, videos, tweets, anything really, and I just talk about them. And I'm making notes beforehand on FigJam here, as you can see. And the point of this series is to give me a place and an opportunity to think about the things that I'm interested in and then learn about them, understand them better, and be able to articulate my opinions about them better. Hopefully, a byproduct of doing so will also mean a little bit of value comes your way. We'll see. There are going to be in the future projects downstream of this that will be more streamlined, more audience focused, so they're more about entertainment, whereas this one is more of a research based project. It's essentially I'm doing my research in public, which it might be entertaining, but it's not the sole purpose of it. In the future, when I have stuff that is a little bit more polished, then hopefully this will give a good insight into how I build those things. The first thing that I want to say is today I've attempted to film this video twice already and been extremely frustrated. Things of so many different little things have gone wrong. And I've filmed series in the past and I have given up on them because of days like today where things have gone so wrong that I've just been fed up and given up. I'm not going to do that now because I'm older and wiser and I can't afford to give up on this project, nor do I want to. So today I'm going to talk about the speed of AI, and initially when you hear that you might think I'm talking about what Bernie Sanders is mentioning here, where he says I am once again begging AI researchers to slow down. Well, he didn't say that, but it's a meme, of course. You know what a meme is. I don't need to explain these things to you because you're a clever person, and that is why I like you. That is why we're going to be good friends going forward. I'm once again begging AI researchers to slow down because it is all moving so fast. OpenAI are driving that with Sam Altman at their helm. But I'm not talking about AI research because I don't really have a problem with the speed at which that is moving for now. Of course, maybe 100 years down the line, we might want to slow down a little bit when we are beginning to get glimpses of artificial general intelligence. But for now, when we're in a position where we're just figuring out augmenting human experience, then I don't necessarily think the speed is too much of a problem. Little robot's waving at us. Maybe he's developed general intelligence whilst I've been rambling. The speed that I am actually referring to is the speed at which people are developing AI tools lately. So obviously we all know about DALL-E, Midjourney and Stable Diffusion, etc, etc. The GPT chatbot, which is incredibly fun to use. Maybe not quite as useful as I think the superlatives that people have been using around it would suggest. I think it comes up against brick walls. It's an inspiration tool as far as I'm concerned, or as I can see so far. It's a tool to trigger you to then create something yourself with it as a baseline. Maybe that's not true, but that's my personal opinion of it, and I think that most people are coming to that opinion too. I think even Sam Altman talks about how limited it is, and it is limited. But then there are certain things they have turned off, like the browsing is turned off, so it has only been updated up to, I think it was 2019, was it? Either 2019 or 2021. I can't remember. People obviously figured out that you could turn that off. Anyway, let's find myself back at the place where I want to be in terms of what I'm talking about. The speed of tools which people are using GPT-3 to build. It's cool. It's nice to see lots of fun new tools come out. At risk of upsetting the order of this document, I am subscribed to this newsletter, Ben's Bytes, which is fantastic. When I first subscribed to it, I couldn't believe the amount of value that I'm getting every day from this. So in terms of AI, just subscribe. The whole newsletter is about artificial intelligence, and one of the things that he includes in it, Ben, is this section called Tools, where he just talks about all the tools that have come out, all the GPT powered tools, the AI tools, and the amount. Right, so this is a list from one day. It's like that every day. Sometimes there's a little bit less, sometimes there's more, but there are this many tools that he finds to share every single day. First off, that's incredible on his part, because he just is smashing it. He's really smashing it. I really do recommend you go and subscribe to this newsletter, because it, as far as I'm concerned, I think I'm saying that a lot, but who cares? It is the place to get your AI news. It really is. There's a lot of tools coming out very quickly, and in my experience as a humble non-tech expert, humble tech amateur, then people are making them fast and badly, on the most part. A lot of the tools that Ben shares, and this is in no way his problem, because I'm guessing they work at points, and they probably work when he puts them on his newsletter. A lot of them I'm finding are broken. And there's that saying, Mark Zuckerberg, I think, said it, move fast, break things. I think that was his motto for building Facebook. It might be a completely different tech entrepreneur that said that, but let's just say it was him. It might have been Steve Jobs. I don't know. Anyway, move fast, break things. I think a lot of these developers are adopting that motto as their motto, except the things that they're breaking are their own apps, and it is beginning to piss me off, I'll be honest, because on one of these editions of Ben's Bites, he had three different let's just say collections of people or projects that were about turning, I think they were building a personalized story, so you could like upload an image of your child, which, you know, I don't know, it's a little bit scary doing that. You don't know what you're doing. People are very quick to just upload their shit to these AI things in trade for something cool to come back. I think there was the whole talk about the ethics behind a lot of those face apps that came out, the ones that make you older at the time. Who are you giving the image of your face to use for whatever purposes they like? Might want to think a little bit carefully before you do things like that, especially your child. But anyway, upload a picture of your child and we'll make them the hero of their own children's book. But I think I tried two of them. I have tried two of them, yeah, and they didn't work when I tried them. And then there was another one which, in fact, just let me. Don't want to. No, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I would get this up, but I don't want to exit the window because of the problems I've had today with filming this. But I did like a generation of like a cartoon version of me, and I also did. It was another Avatar style thing, and it was terrible. Let's stick on the subject of avatars actually whilst we're here, because there's a reason probably why they're moving fast, because they want to be first. And I'm guessing that there's this thing that Matt Ridley talks about in his book, How Innovation Works, and I think it's convergent evolution, is it? Yeah, where two things evolve at the same time to be the same. Maybe I'm probably butchering that, but let's say in the idea space, the point would be that the same idea would come about twice in two different places. And this is really common throughout human history, where two different people have come up with an idea, and the person who wins the race is the person that executes on it best. And in my experience, execution is actually as important, if not more important, than the actual idea having itself. Without the execution, you're going to be forgotten by history, and it's just as hard to execute. I would like to think that the things that will make the biggest difference are things that will probably be built over a slightly longer span of time than these. A lot of these tools seem like they're just there to make a quick buck, and I'm sure, no, you know what? I'd say most of them seem that way. I don't feel like the people building a lot of them are interested in making important changes. I might be being a little bit harsh there, but a lot of the manner of the tools and the quality of them, it seems like people are just trying to make a lot of money quickly. And they've seen companies like Jasper with the AI text assistant, or what is it, AI text editor, where it writes things for you, act quickly and make a shit ton of money. And they're probably thinking, oh, we could be next, and then they're building something and they're not really putting enough time into it, and they're just trying to get it out first. And I don't know, I've been finding it a little bit frustrating. There's a lot of copycatting going on. There are a ton of similar apps just popping up every single day, and none of them stand out really, because they're all getting built in similar time frames. There was obviously this instance here where you'll know about the AI avatars, and Lensa are the company who have, I suppose, made the biggest name in the AI avatar space. Actually, I spotted this chap, Mr. Levels.io. I mean, that's clearly not his name, but let's call him Lev Elcio. Mr. Lev Elcio here and his mate, which I've actually written here, just him and his mate, very quickly seemed to build their AI avatar thing. And as far as I saw and how people were reacting online, they seemed to be first. But then Lensa came along with, I think, prior experience of similar projects, and probably superior resources, and they just went and they just completely blew them out of the water. And this fella, Lev Elcio, he actually was talking on his Twitter about the mistakes that he felt they made, and I'm sure they were a little bit bitter, but it was really interesting to see him talk about it. So if you want to check him out on Twitter, because you can see how he felt about Lensa seemingly trumping them. I mean, their website, this is their homepage. I think I'm actually gonna buy this and try this out, because on the Lensa one, I think you only get like a certain amount of avatars, and they're all similar genres, and why not? I mean, what's cool about this guy as well is that in his bio, he's got all the different things that he's built. And I think also his pinned tweet is something about how only 5% of the things that he's built, and he's built like a massive amount of companies, only 5% have actually worked out. And that's a little lesson in, what would the word be? I can't think of the word. Sheer production. Just making and not worrying about things failing, because most things are going to fail. As I've noticed with my various attempts at creating YouTube series or websites, and yeah, I'm still here. I'm still slogging away. Hopefully it won't be too much longer before my 5% arrives. Over here, this lady was saying that Lensa wasn't the first AI avatar, so it's probably these guys and other people as well still were before Lensa. They were the best on mobile, which ended up being, what does that mean? I don't know. Crown. Being best. Twitter's a bit annoying sometimes, but still, that's a valuable tweet, so I'm not going to be too harsh. So. Anyway, that's my opinion on the speed at which things are happening in terms of the tool space. It's cool to try out new tools every day, and I think the ideas are interesting, but you really have to just, I think you will stand out by doing it well, not just doing it, because these companies are going to build their thing anyway, and they might get their thing out first. But if yours is far superior, like I think Peter Thiel talks about in 0 to 1, how you either have to be first or you have to be 10x better than the thing that already exists. And I would argue just try be 10x better in terms of what I'm seeing so far, because not everything, but most things are kind of shitty. Anyway, let's move on. So this is actually one of the places in which one of the biggest problems arose when I was filming this before, because I was on the Figma app rather than the website, and when I clicked this, it was taking me completely out of my OBS window and completely into the wild, and I just got lost, and then closed it, and then went downstairs and ranted to my girlfriend, and then came back up. But this time it's gonna work. I can see it working. This is a little bit of candy, a little bit of sweetness for you. Yay! You could hear me almost about to cry, right? Hold on. Listen to this. It's a cool video.
I am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real. Well, at least in contemporary terms, it is not. What if I were to tell you that I am not even a human being? Would you believe me? What is your perception of reality? Is it the ability to capture, process, and make sense of the information our senses receive? If you can see, hear, taste, or smell something, does that make it real? Or is it simply the ability to feel? I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now.
Yeah, this is really cool. It does kind of demonstrate the fact that we're moving into the unknown with a lot of this stuff. It's crazy. What are they going to do about these incredibly... So this is a deep fake, obviously. This isn't Morgan Freeman. I would say that the voice doesn't sound completely like Morgan Freeman. It sounds a little bit like him, but it's quite off. But I think the idea with this video is that this other face, this guy who's gone to that, who was talking, and then there's the Morgan Freeman, is actually AI too, which just is wild. It's like Inception, isn't it? It's just turtles all the way down. It's really confusing. It's really interesting, and will be really interesting where we're going to go with this. And I'm sure where we are now, and the things that people think are going to unfold aren't going to unfold, and it'll be a lot different, because that's usually how it works. People are bad at predicting, notoriously. Some people get it right, but most people get it far, far wrong, i.e. where are the flying cars, stuff like that. We haven't travelled to the moon again since whenever we went there. So I had to take a little break there to do some in-project learning, because when I click links in my FigJam, I'm hopping to a new window, and then when I close the new window, it's closing the whole thing and just messing the whole video up altogether. But I think I've figured it out, so let's see if I can remember going forward what it is I need to do there. Yeah, that video was cool, but I remembered, in fact, just quickly, there was a reply underneath, because someone said, how are these made? And that's what I was interested in too. This guy says, Unreal Engine for the 3D model and tracking, plus something like Deep Face for the face and Deep Voice for the voice to text to voice synthesis. All vague guesses, but I mean, I'm sure that will lead you as close as you can get to it without asking the person who made it. So I actually was reminded of this other video. What's that? That's a horrible picture. One of the problems with this picture is that, you know, pictures just look a little bit off because you're looking at the screen, not the camera. That's what I'm doing there. Look how you can see the wetness of my tongue there. I got a very wet tongue, guys. Use that information how you will. I was reminded of this video from before, this deepfake video, which is really cool. We're going to find out whether I've solved my tab problem. Check this out.
Feels like to be an impressionist. Is anything more sad and lame, contemptible, beneath disdain, in short, provoking of disgust, than being an impressionist? A third-rate, even fourth-rate skill. The definition of cheap thrill. Like watching farm equipment rust is watching an impressionist. Relic from a distant day that long since should have died away. Dishonorably mentioned is the pitiful impressionist. Weird and slightly ostentatious, tired debris from a old Las Vegas, whose former fans have long dismissed allegiance to impressionists. How many opportunities passed up on simply no one's lips?
Okay, cool. You get the picture there. Let me see if I can do this and not mess it up. Boom. Figured it out. Okay, that's a win for me. Yeah, how cool. That guy is so good at impressions, and he's combined it with the deep fake stuff, which, yeah, that's really cool. But I think probably there I'm more impressed with the guy's talent. And then, the deep faking was pretty cool. And obviously that would have been before the voice to text to voice to text to lips to mouth to tongue synthesis had come about, because the guy's doing the voices himself there. But clearly he would do a better Morgan Freeman impression than what we just saw with that AI thing. But It's early days, isn't it? Just as a little thing, here's a little AI, a DALL-E image that I created on there, because I like to do that on my stickers if you're on my washi tape, if you're new to this. And there's one there as well. Oh. Wow, this guy's a really talented prompt artist. I wonder what they're going to be calling the human / AI artists of this era. Like prompt artist sounds pretty cool, I think, because that's what the human's doing. So the human would be a prompt artist, and the AI would be a artist. Forgive me. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because that's probably long enough. I wanted to make this one shorter, and it's not been that much shorter. I think I'm not completely sure. As another little meta note, I'm not completely sure whether the way that I did this one worked as such, just because it took me so many takes to get it right. And I think that is actually a symptom of the way I compiled my notes. It was very hard for me to move around it, even though it looks kind of cool. It was hard for me to figure out what I was talking about and where I was talking about it. On the next edition, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a small article, or maybe a small article, and just delve into that. I've done like a big long form article where I did the No Opinion and Rune article for I think it was the first episode, or was it? No, was it? I think it was. Who knows? It doesn't matter. And next I'm going to try something smaller. It could be a video actually, and see how that goes. But yeah, for now, I've got hair on my tongue. For now, that has been the 5th edition of Scrolling, and I'll see you next time. And yeah, have a nice evening, or morning, or daytime, whatever it is, wherever you are. Enjoy the rest of it, and be nice to people. Cheers. Bye bye.